Hello out there, YouTubers. I've been trying to come up with this for a long time, or make this video for a long time, and I've just been so busy that I haven't gotten around to it. Now when you see me put those lids on those totes things I got, a lot of people cut them off like here. I guess I'll put you back in the camera, back in the tripod. Maybe if I get too close you really can't see anything, especially my hand. Most people cut them off like this. Okay? What I'm telling you is because of the size difference, okay, this thing's running somewhere around 43, 44 by 36. Well, if you turn around and cut them this way, okay, there you're at, that's about 40, and then this way here is going to be the same dimension though, by about 44. It'll go over top of that, but it'll go over your wood pile when you put them into your, put your wood in there, then you totally cover it. But I'll show you something here that I have yet seen anybody, you know, I guess there's different ways of using these things. I'm going to cut this one here. I guess I need to put mittens on. You know, if I hook two of these together, I'm just thinking, you know, I spotted a UFO. Told you I was crazy. Anyhow, we'll throw them back here. So I'm going to cut this one and then cut that one and show you something that I've come up with that I haven't seen anybody else do, because there ain't nobody else crazy as me. So I'm going to sit back here and cut it up. I don't have a, what do you call, a big reciprocating saw, so I don't know how this will work. It might not work, but I think it will. Some of that stuff's pretty thick. Oh, I forgot to put mittens on. Oh well. Guess you can't see me that way, can you? That's pretty thick there. Man, that must be real thick there. Might be running into some problems here. I've never used this thing to cut this. You know what I might use? I'm going to set that one there. Oh, let me get this thing out. I never used this either. I used to have a reciprocating saw, but I don't have it anymore. This one here, where do I cut? Oh, cut it up there. I don't know why this wouldn't work. Let me turn it sideways so you guys can see. I'm going on this side of that. A little rough, but it's making it. Doesn't like that those humps there, so we'll finish that out with this thing. Whoa! Let's see. Not a very straight line either. There, we're getting there. That sure cut faster. I think on this flat it might cut pretty good. I sure hope you're in there. Yeah, you're kind of watching the crazy old guy. But then I'll cut this way. Or not. Woo! Maybe we won't do that. That didn't like that at all. Well, it worked all right on the one side, but I guess it's not working there. That plan kind of went by the wayside real quick. Reciprocating saw is the way I always cut them, but I just don't have a big one anymore. So guess I wasn't pushing it. It was shaking so bad it was just shaking the thing instead of cutting it. All right. Now I learned how to do that a little bit better. Been a long time since I cut anything. There are thick spots in it though. Here I'm just going to cut around it. Keep trying to move here. Pretty close. This thing had silicone in it, so I gotta get my hands cleaned up. Guess I'll find some mittens. Well, we're getting there. What do you guys see now? You didn't see the crash. Not too bad. I don't know if I've seen anybody cut these things up. You can see the silicone dripping out of it. Flip it up like that. And that stuff is the slipperiest stuff you ever want to get onto. I think it's 100% silicone. Now I'll just cut around those holes there. You know, I could have got was let's see. I keep moving in front of the camera. I know I'm doing that to you guys. I'm trying not to. Trying to make this entertaining. There's one. You can see the silicone. Oh, that's kind of neat looking. I'm gonna take you guys off the stand. I hope that it'll focus in on it. This stuff is like, I guess, molasses. I really never mess with molasses. Can you see the, I don't know whether you guys can see that or not. If you look that way, you might be able to see it. I don't want to get any on the camera. That stuff is so slippery. It's like I said, I think it's 100% silicone. Well, we got one and we're only 10 minutes into the show. And seeing as we get can't think, 30 minutes to a show. So that's how I cut them. I'm gonna flip that one over and push that down so it's not dented in. I guess you can see that. This will go in the garbage. So now we got two. Now we're gonna cut the other ones halfway the other way. Oh, you know, because that's going, no, this is, no, that's going on top. I get lost. Don't use a circular saw, it didn't want to work. Now, let's see if, basically I want to ruin this one because I'm going to cut it the way everybody cuts them. Everything is so slippery now. All right, this way, maybe I'll do better on cutting this one. I think you're in the camera now. I gotta kind of stay on my dots. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. This one's got a dent in it too. These have been sitting around for years. See my dots? Better make sure you're in there. I get out of camera pretty quick, easy. And we'll move you back a hair so you can watch nonsense in motion here, guys. What I'm finding is if you push in on that, it cuts a lot easier. See my dotted line? Of course, it doesn't want to go. It'd be better if I was pushing against something. There you go, heavy, thick spots on the... These things are... looks like one more cut. I think you're on there. Can you see my dotted lines on there? I tried to do that before I got you guys on the camera, but if I cut that there, you won't see me cutting at all. So bring this up here. We'll bring this over here, and you might see a nitwit in motion. Don't have to be too accurate with this, or you can be. I ain't. It's gonna walk, I know. Now we have two pieces. Slippery pieces. All right, we got the top, which that's what everybody sets on their, that's what everybody seems to be putting on their totes when they fill them full of wood. But what I'm telling you is these are bigger. So the reason that I cut this like this, because I got to put a bunch of stuff in something, and I want to be able to cover it up. The trouble is it's so daggone slippery. There you go. Bet you've never seen that before on YouTube, have you? Now you have a watertight container there. And slippery hands. And if you put the lid, let's see, this one's got the lid on it, so you got to put the, I guess you got to save the lid for the one way. Now I'm not in the camera again. We'll move this over. This stuff is slippery. Gonna smash that back down to where it's supposed to be. I think this one over here needs a smash down too. Nah, not too bad. Let me move this back. Bet you never seen that. Now I got a watertight container, and I needed something like that to put, you know, my white truck is not starting. Not starting properly, it's starting. And so what I want to do is take the stuff out of the compartments, but I don't have any place to put it. So I needed a place that I could store all the stuff in the big side compartments. Store all the stuff in the big side compartments so they wouldn't get wet. There you go. Now I have two watertight things that I can store stuff in. You could store wood in there if you wanted. You can store anything you want in there. Bet you never seen that on YouTube. Now, because they're still dripping a little bit, I'm gonna let them sit out here in the sun tomorrow. There's a little bit left in here. And that's all. That's why I say this way here will cover your firewood. You can cut the lids the other way. There's some of that stuff in there. We'll just let those dry out. Get a towel for my hands. I think that stuff is pure 100% straight silicone. That stuff is so slippery and you can't get it off of nothing. And you can't break it with anything. But I'll tell you what, each one of these containers, some of them had 5 gallons in them. Some of them had, these two here had, between the two of them, about 3 gallons. And that stuff is good for putting on stuff. I've put it on a few things. That's what I put on that log deck up there when that log was sliding so easy. That's what I had on there. I mean, the log was slippery anyway, but then when it was sitting on top of that silicone, which is what I think that is. So, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment down there if you've ever seen anybody do that on YouTube. I don't think you're going to find anybody else has. I think I'm the only one. Now we're going to take you up to see how things are coming on the sawmill. And you'd never believe what showed up there. I just can't believe it. You know, I was sitting there totally amazed. You know, I was finishing up as far as I'm going to finish up, because like I told you, I never finish anything up. You're on the tripod. Check that out. You never seen that before. If you have, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment anyway if you kind of like that. I'm just going to hold you guys sideways. I'm not walking all the way up there. But I wanted to show you that totes thing because it was something I had to do. And I don't see anybody else coming up with a goofy idea like that. If it's different, it's going to be here. Whoa! Ah, here we are. My neighbor wanted some thin wood because he drives like I do, and in his barn he backs up. He's got a tin barn like I got that he keeps his boiler in and other stuff. He's asking me if I could saw him some wood. And I told him, you know, just come over here and get this. I'm just going to throw this away or burn it. So he's going to come over and get that. I got those pieces over there that I got to do the trim. So he's got some more. And what he does is put them on the inside of his barn. So when he backs up, he hears that crunch instead of the tin crunching. Now, here's the, I still got that stupid piece of wood. I'm going to saw that out. I'll probably saw that out tomorrow. I'll bring you guys by for that and for the trim work maybe. Just here's all the leftover wood that's come out of that thing. And almost all of it is oak. There's a little these few little pieces up top here are poplar. That's a lot. That's actually a big pile of oak. I got a measuring stick. We'll figure out how much it is. You guys can figure it out how much it is. I go to a couple different places on the internet that you put in the measurements and they'll tell you how much it is. I can't get you back in the stand. Come on. Come on, camera. Come on, man. we'll measure it, see what it is. Oh. It is width-wise 46, measuring at the inside. Height-wise 40. Front to back-wise 40. Whoops. We'll call it 39. So whatever that comes out to is how much wood's there. And then I'll put that, well, I'll show you me putting the lid on them. These are metal lids that came off some kind of air conditioning, which I know I should have my mittens on, but I don't. There's always sharp edges on this stuff. But those seem to be like the perfect fit for these. And I got my strings on there the same way I do the strings down there. I think I'll bring this way a little bit. That might be full. Got my strings on this way because let me tell you, even this lid here, even though it's heavy metal, it'll pull off. Just put them through, come down, put a little loop in there. Went down too far. These aren't quite as long as the other ones. But you still guys, have you figured out what showed up at the sawmill? Bet you old timers know what showed up at the sawmill. It was a pack of blisters. Blisters, man. You know what a blister is. I know you guys know what a blister is. Oh, I got two. Blister's something that shows up after work's all done. Yep. Blister's something that shows up after the work's done. I'll tie that later. I ain't worried about it. It's not going to be windy, not supposed to rain. Anyhow, here's what we got. Here's what showed up. Can you see them? I can't believe they showed up. After everything was done, they gave me no help at all. But here's what I got come up with. I came up with this little hoodoogie here. It gives me room to go put the clutch in and out. The gas fill, I don't know if you can see it, or diesel fuel's down there. I hope you can see it. It's there's some shaky places in this thing, but you know it covers up what I got going. This probably is not square to this, so I got a big gap there, but I don't, like I said, I don't really care. I'll live with it. I ended up putting, I guess you saw that other video where I can jump up on there. One gentleman suggested I put the camera up there for better video shots, which I was kind of thinking that too. I have to see how bad it shakes. These boards here, at the end ones, I got 1 or 2 screws in them. Maybe one here and one here, but they're not one there and one there. So when this shrinks down, I'll have some take up. I got 3 inches of take up there because I think it's going to shrink more than 3 inches, to be honest with you. So I'll have to redo this whole top. Yeah, you're looking a year down the line. So I have 2 more of these pieces. Look at that wood. It didn't look too bad. The troubles you're seeing is dirt. You know, but those boards actually, I cut in between all those knots and got all this stuff out. So this is all up here pretty clear. It's got a couple marks there where metal got on it. Nope, that's just dirt. So this is all real clear wood. Look at those blisters. Just look at them guys. They're just smiling. They got away with doing no work at all. And those guys are pretty hard workers when they're up at Mark's. Even Mark's over there. Did you notice that? This thing here, I just cut out with a, I don't know, some kind of saw. It wasn't a bandsaw. Saber saw. It wasn't a saber saw. I don't know what it's called. And then took the router around it. I kind of like to do is I might take this out and bring it up higher and make a railing out of it somehow. Kind of like a railing down there. I think that would be nice. So that's how it turned out. I already lost my selfie stick. I don't know what I did with it. I get to my little hydraulic tank there for my log sawdust drag. I put the tank back. I'm going to build a some Trex little deck there to put all these tools on, because I had them on boards, but the boards were crappy, and boards absorb moisture. The Trex I don't think absorbs moisture, but then I'll be able to, I don't want the handles of any of that stuff, not the handles, the other ends, because like when you got one of these things, the ends are wood. So if that sits in the ground, it's just going to absorb moisture and rot. So I want those to be up on a platform. So I'm going to build a platform here, and I just generally lay all that stuff across this tank. This tank doesn't have anything in it. I used to have fuel in it, but it was stupid. It was just a dumb mistake, and I might put some kind of thing over that. This twirls here, and this twirls here. Now these areas here on that could catch you. That ain't never going to catch you. So we don't want to get too carried away with this thing here. Now, if I got a couple more minutes left, I guess I'll call that quits. We'll show you. I was going to take you down and show you the garden. The garden's come along pretty good. I think it's been in 3 weeks now, and it's coming good. I guess I told you. These I'm just saving. They're just sitting there. I want them to dry, and the same thing as these. So when this shrinks down, I think in a year, I think this will probably shrink 3 or 4 inches in a year. Okay, from this point down. So I'll put that spacer in there and then put a wider one in there. So that's what I'm saving that other wood for. Anyhow, I think that'll be a call for a day. Look what showed up at the sawmill will be the title of this one, I think. Picked up most of the stuff. I'm glad you stopped by. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and send it to an enemy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.